welcome you on behalf of the Sustained Dialogue, on behalf of the staff and the board.
The Board of Directors of the Sustained Dialogue Institute presented the National Dialogue Awards at its annual gala on November 17, 2016, at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. The National Dialogue Award recognizes the work of those whose lives represent the principles and values of true dialogue, reconciliation, and peace. Reverend Mark Farr, President and CEO of the Institute, opened the gala.
This is a matter of thinking about how we can listen deeply enough to be changed by what we learn. How do we do that in this world? And if Hal Saunders, who passed away from us, who was here last year, my predecessor and founder of the organization, if he was here, he would say something like, too many people have lost the capacity or the will to listen thoughtfully, to talk respectfully, or relate creatively. He was a man who did that. Most importantly, I want you to leave tonight with this idea that the people in this room, in this moment, in this nation, in our nation as we are now, divided and polarized, can make a difference. That's what Hal believed. That's what we believe as a staff. Every day we go in believing that's possible with young people, with diplomats, with the corporate world, with others. We can do this. We can do this. And that's what Sustained Dialogue for me is about.
Honorary Gala Chair is Ambassador Andrew Young of Atlanta.
There is a necessity that in the midst of all of the anger, insecurity, and frustration of the world, we hear not just what is being said in anger and frustration, but we hear the yearnings and the wishes that come from within the hearts of each and every one of us. A gathering like this can hold our nation together. And if our nation holds together, we can hold the world together. And it is very, very important that it's not only dialogue, but it's the politics of respect. Because it is out of dialogue and respect, mutual respect, that civilization really emerges and flowers.
What a privilege it is to introduce the student honorees for tonight's awards, because both of them represent what it means to have a sense of commitment to this important cause at such a young age.
If fostering inclusive spaces and recognizing privilege and being offended by marginalization makes Sustained Dialogue students sensitive millennials, then we should all gladly bear the title. Sensitive millennials grow into voracious leaders. There is no other organization doing the type of work than the Sustained Dialogue Institute. They're the only organization committed to developing the change makers of tomorrow, specifically the Sustained Dialogue Campus Network. Thank you.
Sustained Dialogue has taught me this: you cannot change the world or the nation in one day. You cannot be responsible for everyone's reactions or actions. But you have an unimaginable impact with just one interaction. Thank you again.
The first Global Peacemaker Award is presented to Susan E. Carmel Lehrman by Dr. James H. Billington, the Librarian of Congress Emeritus, for her efforts towards greater cultural relations around the world, and in particular, Russia.
Now, the Global Peacemaker Award is given to individuals whose lives have reflected a sustained expression of peace building between countries or indeed communities under tension or in conflict. The award is for those who seek to build the lasting foundations of peace and build it through dissemination of the arts, culture, sciences, or humanities and across borders that separate us but can bring us together.
Susan Carmel Lehrman is the founder and advisory committee chair of the Carmel Institute of Russian Culture and History at American University in Washington, D.C. Ms. Carmel has received multiple awards for her efforts towards greater cultural relations.
Our attitude toward Russia is notably different from many other educational programs precisely because it focuses on culture, which allows us to overcome political issues and focus on continuous dialogue between people. I'm very hopeful that both here and abroad we will enter into an era of positive new beginnings. As we see in the example of the International Space Station, there are great accomplishments that can be achieved through cooperation and mutual respect. Instead of reaching for the stereotypes that are so prevalent in many of today's news and cultural mediums, thinking in terms of stereotypes is a danger of our current inclination to form fast judgments from wherever we receive our information, whether it's from television, the movies, or the media. And the dangers of stereotypical thinking can only be dealt with through person-to-person contact, cultural dialogue, and unbiased education.
Lubana Al-Kuntar was granted the title of the first opera singer of Syria. Her rare voice, ability, enabled her to sing different and a wide repertoire between Arabic classical songs, folk traditional, pop, and classical opera as a dramatic coloratura.
U.S. Supreme Court Associate Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is honored with the Distinguished National Dialogue Award for her lifetime dedication to the highest ideals of cautious change and thoughtful jurisprudence.
This is a great night, and for so many years, I waited as a lawyer to meet this legendary Associate Justice. And I can go back to the South and tell them that I had a chance to stand in the crowd and be among such a great Associate Justice, such a great lady, such a great American.
The award was presented by Judith Terra, former chair of the District of Columbia's D.C. Commission on Arts and Humanities.
Our recipient tonight is someone who made her mark early in life with the encouragement of an amazing mother. She constantly defied the odds of prejudice, of gender, of closed doors, to reach for the stars. And indeed, she did defy the odds. It gives me great pleasure to present this prestigious National Dialogue Award to the great, notorious RBG.
Justice Ginsburg received her BA from Cornell University, attended Harvard Law School, and received her LLB from Columbia Law School. She was appointed a judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit in 1980. President Clinton nominated her as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court in 1983.
We are different, we are one. Let us hope that all who serve the USA will similarly strive to understand our differences and unite in the common cause of advancing universal ideas of liberty and equality. Thank you for tonight's honor and every good wish for Sustained Dialogue Institute's endeavor to create a world in which people coexist peacefully, justly, and productively through dialogue across divides. Thank you.
The National Dialogue Award is nonpartisan and aims to promote the values of dialogue in the transformation of national and global conflict. Previous awardees include Senator George Mitchell, Congressman John Lewis, and Michelle Norris of National Public Radio.